Hello, everybody. Welcome to another segment of Whispers from the Universe. As most of you know, I'm an intuitive. I believe we all get signs from our dreams, synchronicities, visions, our feelings, intuition, clear seeing, clear knowing. I believe all this information that is provided to us from the universe helps us on our daily path. As we get into this segment, we're going to be discussing the solar eclipse that's coming up on the 29th and the transition of Neptune going into Aries for the next 14 years. So stick with me as we get ready to unpack what I see coming as a very transformative 14 years. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, I want to thank you so much for being here, and let's go ahead and get started. We've got the solar eclipse coming up. I believe it's on the 29th, and we have the transition of Neptune going into Aries on the 30th of March. So what this is spelling out for me, we're already seeing this ingress, the energy build up. You've got relationships crashing, global relationships crashing. You've got the illusion bubble popping. You've got people wanting to just really tear things down, just burn it down and rebuild. You've got a lot of relationships where the masks are falling off globally on the world stage. Partnerships that you thought were solid, come to find out they weren't. You've got all this illusion that is being exposed for exactly what it was, because that Pisces bubble is popping. So we can no longer live in the dreamscape. So now we're going into another, but we're in the transition. So what happened the last time? Solar eclipses are all about illumination and things that were hidden that are being revealed. The lunar eclipses are more like the shadows and what's hiding in the shadows and bubbling up. And we've got, don't forget, we've got those retrogrades going on right now, Mercury and Venus. And what are they saying? They're saying, whoa, wait a minute, slow down. Take a breath. Let's look at where you've been. You know what? Let's start with that. Let's look at where we've been. The 70s was full of cynicism, just people being very cynical, and coming out of the 60s with the war and everything else and just being lied to. It was just a crazy time. You had 80s full of, just excess. 90s was the reinvent stage. 2000 was, the 2000s was tech saturation. And where are we at now? We're trying to find out who we really are. And that's the feeling that I'm really picking up is this is a time of identity. You've got Aries, which is assertive. It's a pioneering, it's a fiery energy. But you still have that Neptune, which is blurring the lines of boundaries. It's still a little bit of a, running in the background of the underworld, the undertones. It's still a little bit dreamy. Not as dreamy as Pisces, but still a little bit there. But what happened the last time that, Aries, Neptune is going into Aries for 14 years. Does that mean it's going to be explosive? No, it will be in the beginning. But what happens is the Aries energy happens to be a very assertive and pioneering. So they're always going to be pushing for more, pushing for, learning, taking chances, exhibiting that fire energy of moving forward. And that's what you have to hold on to. This is all going to be a push and moving us forward past any limitations, past the old government structures. As we see now, they are burning down. Okay, those relationships are burning down. The last time that Neptune went into Aries, I believe it was during the Civil War time. Neptune entered Aries. It was like April 1861, and bang, America was in a civil war. And then during that time period, you have to understand that you also there was I believe it was the Reformation. You had it was, I think there was like a unification between Italy and Germany and Prussia. They had the Franco Wars. I'm not really good on all that, but what was happening during that time period was a lot of transitioning, a lot of stress for independence and breaking away. So what do I see? Well, I'm seeing a lot of potential energy. You have Canada. Canada is getting ready. I believe the United States is already in a civil war, maybe not as traditional as it has been in the past, but as you can see in current news related topics, you have people really unhinged, burning things, and just you've got old structures, old systems, old contracts. Everything is just crashing. Relationships that you thought were strong are no longer strong on a global stage, but you've got those ones that are up and coming that are really strong, like El Salvador, Argentina. You've got all these places that you're making new bonds with, new partnerships. What happens with that? You're going to have new ventures, new areas, new frontiers. And that's how you will get through this, is because this is an energy, a drive of moving forward, getting into, you're going to be uncomfortable at first. Aries has the ability to make you uncomfortable, but you've got that humanitarian drive with the Neptune. So it's for our betterment. You're going to have spirituality, which is really going to be questioned during this time period. You're going to see, confusion, then sudden clarity. After the conflict, you're really going to see all this type. It's like we're going to be going through a big identity crisis. Somebody's just basically it's like you will be trying to stand your ground, but then you're going to be like, well, what ground am I really standing on? There's really going to be everybody is going to be challenged as to what they really are going to stand for. Okay, so March is really going to be the pressure cooker. And as we can see, it already is. It's already started. February, we saw, the precursor to it. Now we're actually seeing, everything being put in this pot, so to say. And it's just, we will be, it's basically, you versus we at this point, but then you're going to find out that a lot of it was just, illusions. They weren't real. Like all those contracts, you're finding out that they were just funneling money back. They weren't real. And, that's going to make everybody a little bit more, cynical, just like we were in the 70s. That 80s excess, you're seeing a lot of people relook back at the 80s and 90s right now. And that was a burn down and reinvent period. We got rid of a lot of things back then. And I kind of see that type of energy. We've got the AI that we're looking at. Where are we going to stand with that? We've got the systemic rot that we're dealing with. We've got a lot of things we're dealing with during this 14 years. And it's all bringing about self-awareness, what we are actually going to be responsible for in our own lives and collectively. Okay? So, we've got we've got drive for answers about extraterrestrials, that will all be a challenge. It will all be coming to the forefront. You've got all these things that the corruption is all going to be burnt. There's not going to be a place for it. But I'm telling you, 2025 is going to be the burn down period. And this solar eclipse is really going to light the way even further. I really do believe what we've been feeling has been the build up towards that. The global relationships that are crashing, the populist uprising, the trade wars. I mean, all of it is about to get really real. You think it's been real, but nah, it's about to get really real. Now, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see something with Canada. I did have a dream, and in that dream, I won't get into everything, but I did see a lot of, I guess it was leading me in the direction of BlackRock. I also seen, which I did not understand, and I will be honest, I had to look it up because I do not know everything about Canada. And I was actually a little bit surprised to find out some of the things I found out, that they are actually, their monarch is still King Charles III, which I did not know. I thought they had their independence, but apparently he is the monarch, which made sense because about my dream, because they're fighting for their independence. They want to move towards total independence and being able to be protected by the United States. I know some of them are not. Some of them are fighting within, but I seen two rats, and they're being fought over, and they don't understand. A lot of Canadians do not understand who the rats really are. But one of them is about to sneak up behind, and there's going to be a mad rush to become part of the United States. But then I seen the monarch, which I did not understand. I seen the crown step forward and block. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. I seen that it really hurts a lot of people. There was a shot to the heart. It barely missed the heart, let's put it that way. It barely missed. Something to do with financial, something to do with BlackRock, something to do with something that was embossed, so I'm going to say that was a contract. But still desperately, that last-ditch effort was a huge fight, a huge push, but ultimately it'll be the crown that stops it or tries to stop it. I did see that there was still an effort, but I did see that as far as the United States, there was a decision that had to be made, and I didn't see it go into that direction of where it went after that. I didn't see that. Then I had something to do with not in this particular dream. It's been really busy last couple of weeks. Had a lot of deaths, and it has been. I don't even want to get into it. So, at any rate, pushing that aside, I also was picking up synchronicities. A lot of high priestess energy, which is picking up, the inner wisdom, the inner understanding, spirituality, things of that nature. And I also got Ishtar. So I'm not really sure where it's going to take us, but I was reminded of they have some archaeological finds that they are working with now under one of the pyramids. And I don't know, people. I mean, I've seen things in my dreams that there are things that are better left untouched. I know a lot of archaeologists would counter that, but we've got a lot of portal energy, and there were some things that I seen that maybe we're just not ready for as yet. maybe getting towards the end of this 14 years, or when I was seeing guardians come in, and, maybe when that happens. But I just seen like a lot of crooked talk, a lot of vampiric energy, portals to really bad regions. So I don't know. I don't really want to touch on all that unless I get more elaboration, but I do remember that one of the spots, I think I had spoke to that they would find something under a bunch of trees. The trees were the guardian. Well, it turns out there was an archaeological site that they planted trees over it for some reason. It's not even been fully excavated. It's the like 10% of it has been. The rest of it, the 90%, hasn't even been touched. And they found out the trees were damaging it, and now they're trying to like asphalt over it. I don't really understand, unless it has something to do with that portal I was talking about. Maybe there's more to it. I'm not really sure, but maybe it's to an understanding that they want to hide because it contradicts everything, which we are going to get into within the next 14 years, because religion and spirituality is definitely going to be on the list of transformation and changes. I mean, if you look at it, the last time that Aries went into or Neptune went into Aries, you had Romanticism died, and then you had spiritualism, like seances and things like that, was birthed. So you've got a lot of those similar type energies coming in, but it's one step further now. So instead of the seances and what's on the other side, because today you've got a lot of mediums and things of that nature, I think it's really going to get into the extraterrestrial, and there's going to be more drive for answers. You're also going to get into a lot of people that are talking about extinction events and things of that nature. So you really want to decipher what is real and what is not real, because once again, we've got that new attitude and let's rebuild, and we've got a really big global upset and crashes that we're going to be working with for the next for the duration of this year, that's for sure. But I just wanted to touch on that. I think I'm going to leave it there for right now, because basically it's going to be finding our identity and who we are, and I believe we're already building up to this, and we've already got a precursor of what we can expect. And this energy is just going to intensify, and I think it's going to take us into September to the next batch of the lunar and the solar, and I believe that's in September. It may carry us through to the end of the year. I was really hoping this energy would kind of fizzle by April, but I'm not feeling that right now. I'm feeling it's really going to be a push for identity and who we are, and where we will be, because you've got to remember, this is that Aries energy. It's that assertive, that's pioneer, moving forward. Who are we going to be? I mean, we are literally pushing for the stars, so we have to be up front. It's all going to be exploration. But where do we stand? What is right? Because remember, we've got those Neptunes. So that Neptune energy, so the humanitarian, with the AI, learning, consciousness, transferring consciousness. We've got so much to look forward to within the next 14 years. And I'm telling you, I'm glad Saturn's out there. So that Saturn energy, because it's really going to be a lot of rules and regulations that we're going to have to really, right now, you're going to see the upheaval. You're going to see judges being, impeached. It's just the old system is dying, people, and there's a new system that's coming into place. The illusion bubble is popping. A lot of people are going to become aware, and a lot of them didn't want to become aware. Okay? Once again, a lot of transformation, and you've got to remember that butterfly literally turns to goo in the chrysalis stage, literally turns to goo, and then it has to fight to get out of the chrysalis to give the wing strength. That is what we are looking at, I know, for the remainder of this year. I think we're going to be the goo part, and then we're really going to have to start fighting to get out of it. That's probably going to be rolling around the September-October mark. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here. And if you have any questions, drop it in the comments. I really appreciate you all. I thank you so, so very much. And I will catch you on the next segment of Whispers from the Universe. Thank you.